Well, I learned my lesson, and I have the device plugged in. Why? Because, you know, I have a feeling this is going to go a while, because there's a lot, and I do mean a lot to talk about. Just got finished watching a 3-hour pay-per-view. Of course, it was the Elimination Chamber, and got my Minute Maid fruit punch. I'm ready to roll. So we're going to talk about Elimination Chamber. Now, there's a lot of interesting things that happened on the pay-per-view tonight. A lot of things that we expected to happen. A lot of things necessarily that we not so suspected to happen. It's a possibility it was going to happen, but we weren't sure. Now that it's all said and done, let's talk about it. So I'm going to go directly into the pay-per-view, no housekeeping. We'll talk about that later. We're doing Raw, of course, for Tuesday's video. This is Monday's video, because it'll be out after midnight, so officially it will be Monday. And that means that if you're watching me right now, there is a good possibility you have already been watching the WWE Network for quite a bit. So that's pretty awesome. And that's what I've been doing. Well, I'd hope to be doing. I have to work during the day, but once I get done, I plan on coming back here and watching the WWE Network, just like hopefully most of you guys and girls are doing right now, if you're watching this video. If you're watching this video, I do want to thank you for watching this video and taking time out of your WWE Network watching to do just that, even though you may just have me on one window and you may have a laptop or a tablet or an iPad and you're watching the WWE Network. But either way, I don't blame you, and I thank you for watching this video, because we're going to talk about Elimination Chamber. And Elimination Chamber is the last pay-per-view as we know it for WWE. Now, here's the thing. Now, what I'm saying is, obviously, there's still going to be people that are going to be paying full price for the pay-per-view. Obviously, the WWE Network is only a United States thing, so people that are overseas are going to have to still pay for the pay-per-views, or they're going to watch them on Sky Sports. I think that may be how it works. I don't exactly know. I will say right now, for those of you that have the access to purchase WWE Network, we will never have to pay $60 for a WWE pay-per-view ever again, and that is an amazing thing. Starting today at 9 a.m., you probably, like I said, you're probably already watching it right now on your free trial for a week. You can purchase, with a 6-month commitment, $9.99 a month. Covers the WWE Network. You get NXT every week. It's going to be on Thursdays now, which means I'm going to have to really decide what I want to watch. I may watch Impact on one side, and then I may have to watch NXT on a laptop. Haven't quite decided yet. This week, it's null and void because I will be in Nonstop with AJ when Arrival is on. So, when I get back, I need to watch Arrival, and we'll recap it, because it'll be a special 2-hour NXT video, which I'm really excited about doing. And NXT content will be on Wednesday, which I will review the NXT episode from last week that I have notes for. I just wanted to save it until Wednesday because it flowed really nicely in Arrival, which is on Thursday night. So, that being said, you're watching the WWE Network and taking time to watch me. I appreciate that. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about Elimination Chamber. Elimination Chamber will be available sometime next month, I think towards the middle or end of next month on the WWE Network, so you can actually watch it if you didn't see it. Or if you want to relive the incredible Shield and Wyatt family Armageddon blowout, then please, by all means, like, watch it. Watch it now. I know you can't watch it now, but still, when you're able to watch it, it's phenomenal. So, we're going to talk about the kickoff. I need this for my throat, obviously, because I got to be talking a lot. Kickoff match is the Brotherhood, Goldust and Cody Rhodes, taking on the Nexus Relocation Program, which is Curtis Axel and Ryback. Really awesome to see, given the fact we're in Minneapolis tonight, is that Larry the Axe Hennig was actually in the corner of Curtis Axel, which is really awesome, of course, if you didn't know. That is the father of the late, great Mr. Perfect Kurt Hennig, which, of course, is my favorite wrestler of all time. That was really awesome. I'm really happy to see him in the corner. Axel got a nice response. This crowd tonight, kind of interesting. Very heel-friendly. Not really wanting to cheer for the people that WWE wanted you to cheer for, but I'll get to that a little bit later. So, let's talk about this match, shall we? This was on the kickoff, so you could have watched this on WWE.com. You could have watched this on YouTube. Could have watched it on the WWE app. You could have just watched this anyway. It's completely free. 30 minutes before the pay-per-view starts, they do the kickoff, and they have the one match that leads you into the actual pay-per-view. And this was the match that they brought us this time around. So we go midway through the match like we do, which of course in this case means after the commercial break. Seems to be a good way to start writing. Nice that I actually had a commercial break to do that. Otherwise I had to guesstimate on this. And that's the reason why some of the writing is a little off this time around. But I digress. So a front face lock by Curtis Axel on Goldust. Goldust ends up getting caught with a knee lift when he tries to fight out of it. Tossed into the ropes. Big standing drop kick from Axel. Makes cover 1-2 and Goldust kicks out. Tiger Ryback, he comes in. Axel with a side elbow to the side of the head. Ryback with an avalanche in the corner and a hanging vertical suplex. 1-2 and a Goldust kicks out again. So tagging to Curtis Axel and a headbutt, knee in the midsection, and he pushes him to the ropes. He telegraphs the drop kick, and Goldust with a jackknife cover, 1-2, and a kick out. Strangely enough, a jackknife cover was how the Usos beat the New Age Outlaws on my WWE 2K14 simulation. How appropriate. So they both have the same idea, and they both go down courtesy of the double clothesline. So after the double down, Ryback is tagged in, tosses him hard into the corner, and Goldust fights his way out. He gets on the middle rope, nails the snap-on off the middle rope, and he goes for the tag, and Ryback lifts him up, catches him, and stops it. Low bridge, Ryback goes over the top rope to the floor. Ryback gets it back in the ring, tags in Curtis Axel. Hot tag to Cody. Clothesline, ducks the clothesline, and the high knee lift. Pushes him into the corner, and he charges in, gets the boot up, and the standing moonsault, 1-2, and 2.5. Axel kicks away. So he goes for a kick, and he goes for the double leg, and it looked like they were going for the Alabama Slam, but kind of wires got crossed, so they repeat the spot. And they hit the Alabama Slam this time. Ryback pulls the referee out of the... Actually, no, pulls Goldust out of the ring. Referee getting pulled out of the ring was later on in the night. Cody hits Beautiful Disaster using the steps for leverage in this situation on the floor, and really nice maneuver there. Ryback's down and out. Springboard, Rana gets caught into a powerbomb from Curtis Axel, 1-2, and a kick out. Goes for the perfect plex, countered, going for crossroads, gets countered, Goldust ducks down, Ryback goes to counter, and in the ring you have the Hatchet is going to finish off Cody Rhodes. It gets countered, Crossroads hits this time, 1-2-3, and the Brotherhood win tonight. Which is interesting, given the fact that I know, I was like, oh, and you called the Nexus to win. Yeah, I know, I'm aware. I'm dumb. Maybe this isn't going to happen. That they're actually telling the truth, and they're going to go completely against all convention, and there will not be a breakup of the Brotherhood. And I wouldn't have an issue with that, because obviously that means that Cody has to be the heel. No reason that they should break up tonight. There was no collusion, there was nothing. Unless something happens on Raw tonight, I would think that they're going to go. They're going to go a ways, and we're not getting Cody and Goldust at WrestleMania. And I don't have a problem with that, because this is an awesome run for Goldust right now. And like I said, Cody has to be the heel if they want to do this right. So, and I don't think that's going to happen quite yet. I think it may still happen, but I don't think it's going to happen yet. You already broke up the Primetime Players. Their match is actually in a couple matches from now. And you're getting ready to break up the Real Americans. So why would you break up the Brotherhood already? You have 3 tag teams in that situation that you break up. And don't forget, the Shield. They're breaking up soon as well. So that's almost 4 tag teams that you're getting rid of to do something else with. So who knows what's going to happen with that. We get our first match on the actual pay-per-view card. It is for the WWE Intercontinental Championship. Big E defending against Jack Swagger with Zeb Coulter in his corner. This match was a whole lot better than a lot of people thought it was going to be. This match was really good, really brutal from these two. Some really awesome high spots in this match, and I was very happy to be able to talk about them. So, Swagger gets caught with 2 overhead release belly-to-belly suplexes from the Intercontinental Champion. And he does the charging shoulder, whip in, and Swagger goes to the floor, which is smart. Big E catches him on the floor with a gut shot, and he tosses him headfirst into the ring steps. So Zeb with a distraction gets up in his face. Of course, most people don't realize Zeb was a former wrestler, Dirty Dutch Mantel. And, of course, he backs down like a good manager should. I've done that before, obviously. And what happens? The distraction allows for Swagger to attack. But he gets caught, and he gets the charging shoulder block into Swagger while he's laying against the ring steps. That looked vicious as all get out. Tosses him in, 1-2, Swagger kicks out. So Jack goes to the floor again to break momentum, and he pulls Big E off the ring apron. Big clothesline, tosses him in, 1 count only, the Intercontinental Champion powers out. So he hits the charging knee into the corner, and 4 straight knee strikes, and he backs off. Short arm clothesline, 1-2, and a kick out. He double chicken wings the arms, and Big E breaks it with a back into the corner on 2 separate times. The second time is what breaks up the maneuver. Big boot on Big E, and he comes off the ropes, leaping leg drop to the side of the back of the head. Doesn't look like Big E was in the right position there, but that's okay. It happens sometimes. So, makes a cover 1-2 and a kick out. Goes back to the front face lock yet again, just like in the first match. And he gets tossed off like he's yesterday's garbage. Ducks the clothesline. Both men have the same idea and go down courtesy of the double clothesline. So, a gut shot by Big E. Whip in. Charges in, misses, goes shoulder first into the ring post. Swagger rolls him up 1-2 and a kick out. So he whips in, charges up with a back elbow, charges in, catches the boot, charges in, misses, and clothesline, ducks Swagger's clothesline, and belly-to-belly suplex. He goes for the big splash, and he doesn't even get it off. He basically gets off the ropes, and he gets caught with a spine buster from Swagger, 1-2, and a kick out. Swagger bomb, and he catches him. When he goes for the Swagger bomb, grabs the ropes, and he dumps him to the ring apron. Swagger's on the ring apron, like groggy, getting ready to get back in the ring. Big E charges him and spears him through the middle rope to the floor, you know, kind of like Edge and Mick Foley at WrestleMania, but that was through a flaming table. This was just too hard concrete floor. Tosses him back in the ring. Swagger manages to kick out at 2 somehow. He finally hits the big splash, 1-2 and a kick out. He goes up top for some reason. Big right hand, and he climbs up, gets knocked off. He runs up Kurt Angle style, belly-to-belly superplex, 1-2, and a kick out. So he comes off the ropes, and the diving clip to the knee takes out Big E. I almost called him Langston. I stopped myself. Goes to the Patriot Lock. He rolls out of it, gets stopped. Big E kicks him off. A boot straight to the kneecap, and he goes for the gut wrench. Powerbomb, of course, going for the doctor bomb. He gets countered. Ducks the clothesline and Vader attack from Big E. He drops the straps and he goes for the finish, obviously. He's going for the end, literally. Swagger picks the ankle, goes for the Patriot Lock. This is awesome strength from Big E, by the way. He presses up like a push-up. I don't know why, don't know what I said there. And he gets up to his feet. Swagger still has the ankle lock locked on. And Big E nails him with an enziguri kick out of nowhere. Swagger, stagger, I know, bounces against the ropes, get picked up, big ending, 1-2-3, and Big E retains the Intercontinental Championship. Great match, really great match. Great way to start off the show. Great way to start off the pay-per-view show. Actually not bad at all, I really enjoyed it. They delivered, and I want to see more matches between Big E and Jack Swagger in the near future. Swagger, when he's in the ring with somebody that he can go against, obviously someone with a wrestling background, it definitely shows. And this match was really good, so I was very happy with it. A lot better than people thought it would be. So, Wade Barrett comes out. He ascends on his podium, and of course, he basically says that Russia just won more gold medals at the Olympics, and they're going to have to wait 4 years to do anything about it. But I'm afraid I've got some bad news because Mother Russia is still going to prove European supremacy. So, Wade Barrett with his first of many segments tonight. I love Wade Barrett. Everyone knows this. And we got our next match, which was... Oh, real quick before I get into that, if you were curious. Cody ate the shell shock from Ryback, and there was a clean win, and Ryback and Axel beat the Brotherhood in the WWE 2K14 simulation. And somehow, someway, Jack Swagger actually beat Big E Langston with a Cobra Clutch. So yeah, that's... by tap out is very strange. Anyway. So, WWE Tag Team Championships on the line. New Age Outlaws defending against Jimmy and Jey Uso. This match was good for what it was. And like I said before, this was all about getting the Outlaws to win tonight and building towards the Usos taking the WWE Tag Team Championships at WrestleMania, and that's how it should be, honestly. They need to get the big moment, and that's a big, big moment to beat the Outlaws, who of course are 6-time Tag Team Champions. So it's a big feather in their cap to be the ones who dethrone the Outlaws. And it's going to happen at WrestleMania, and like I said, that's the right thing to do. So we go midway through the match, and Road Dogg's in the ring with Jey Uso, boot in the midsection, and Road Dogg with a headbutt, of course, no effect. Can't headbutt a Samoan. People should know this by now. Watch WWE Network, and you'll realize you can't headbutt a Samoan. So he ducks the right hand, catches the uppercut, and whip in, reverse, charges in, gets the boot up, and Road Dogg hip tosses Jey into the corner. Viciously, by the way. Hip tosses him from the middle of the ring all the way to the corner, and it looks like his knee buckled against the actual turnbuckle itself. It looked vicious, by the way. So Dogg chokes him on the ropes, comes off the ropes, and dive bombs the back, tosses him out to the floor. Tagging to Billy Gunn, he comes in with a big clothesline on Jey on the floor, rolls him back in, 1-2, and Jey kicks out. Boot in, tag into the Road Dogg, charges in, and Jey throws the boot up. Excuse me. So, he hits a knee off the ropes, and he goes for a hip toss, gets blocked, and he nails a kick to the spine, 1-2, and a kick out, chin lock. And of course, Jey breaks it up with not an elbow, not a punch, but stepping on the foot of the Road Dogg, which he has done numerous times in their matches throughout the last several weeks. So, a boot in the midsection, spun around, and spin kick on the Road Dogg, tagging to Billy, tagging to Jimmy, ducks the clothesline, knocks the Road Dogg off the ring apron, does Jimmy, smart move there, and Savate kick to the ribs, and of course the Bubba Bomb, the full Nelson bomb, tosses Road Dogg over the top, ducks the clothesline, and Samoan drop. He hits going for the running butt bump, obviously, and he gets pulled out of the way. Road Dogg gets nailed with the SSD, and Billy, with a big clothesline, tosses him in. Goes for the Famouser, gets ducked. Savate kick, 1-2, Jimmy almost got it right there. Goes up top for the Samoan splash. Road Dogg goes to pull him off, and he gets pulled off himself. He leapfrogs over Billy Gunn. He ducks Billy's big boot, which is really awkward. Knocks the Road Dogg off the ring apron with a Savate kick. Walks into a roll-up with the tights from Billy Gunn. 1-2-3, and treachery reigns supreme as the Outlaws retain, just like I said they would. So after the match is over, it's funny because Wade Barrett brings up the fact that his podium will not rise anymore because apparently the people that set it up, they don't know how to get it to work. So he's going to be down to our level, which is hilarious, by the way. He said Dan O'Brien won't win tonight. He says that the fickle fans will turn on him and the yes movement will cease to exist. He starts chanting yes, the crowd starts chanting no. Wade Barrett is awesome. That's all you need to know. Like I said, Usos won the tag titles over the Outlaws with Jimmy pinning Road Dogg with a jackknife cover in the match on WWE 2K14 simulation I had. So, we get our next match, which of course is the implosion of the Primetime Players. No Days Off, Darren Young against the big deal, Titus O'Neil. And let's talk about this match, shall we? It wasn't as bad as it could have been. It was okay. You can definitely tell that they're investing a lot in Titus O'Neil, and rightfully so. Darren Young with a rolling elbow and a drop kick to the knee, cactus clothesline by Darren, and he tosses Titus back in, goes up top, big flying clothesline, 1-2, and a kick out. European uppercut, whip in reverse, and the momentum that Titus throws Darren Young is so insane, so powerful, he literally throws him over the top rope to the floor. Like, he whips him that hard that he goes over the top rope to the floor, kind of like how Shawn Michaels did. I know Sergeant Slaughter used to do that all the time in spots. We used to hit the chest and then take it over the buckle. But, yeah, it looked vicious. So he picks him up and rams him back first into the ring post on 2 separate occasions, then swings him in to the ring. 1 count only. Side bear hug applied, and D. Young elbows his way out, charges in, catches the back elbow. Middle rope flying body press, gets caught, and a backbreaker, and he just tosses him aside. So he locks on a modified abdominal stretch, and adds insult to injury by chopping him, like open hand palm chopping Darren Young in the chest while he's got it in there. So he elbows out of it, gets caught with a boot, avalanche in the corner, and he goes for a second one. He misses, charges in, D. Young gets the boot up, and a boot in the midsection. Whip in, reverse, a kick to the chest, big clothesline, ducks the clothesline, and a very awkward back body drop by Darren Young. So he mounts him with the punches, and they both go to the ring apron, and they decide to do a spot which actually works really well, a very dangerous spot. He hits a reverse neck breaker on Titus O'Neil on the ring apron, which if any of you have ever been in a wrestling ring before, you know that the ring apron has no give whatsoever and is pretty much the hardest part of a wrestling ring. I should know, I hit that apron several times and it's not fun. Pulls him back in, makes a cover 1-2 and a kick out, and Darren Young's in control. He's setting up for the gut check, gets countered, forearm to the kidneys, tosses him into the ropes, clash of the Titus, 1, 2, 3, and Titus O'Neil wins this match completely out of nowhere. So, decent match between the two former primetime players. Obviously, Titus has a huge upside, and it's going to be interesting to see what they do with him in the near future. Interesting to see what they actually do with him tonight on Raw. I don't know what's going to happen with Darren Young. I think that there is a case to be made if Darren went over tonight, the feud will continue. I think it's a one-off, and I think they're both going to go their separate ways as of this week. Definitely not even going to be near each other come WrestleMania. As a matter of fact, I'm not even sure either one of them will be on the card at WrestleMania, but that's another story altogether for another time. So, we get our next match. But first, because Wade Barrett just needs to come out again, he does, and he basically interrupts. And he says the immortal Hulk Hogan is coming back to host WrestleMania, but his spotlight will be dimmed, and he compares his charisma to the fact that it's not as good as Wade Barrett. So, really setting up the fact that Wade Barrett's getting his comeuppance. Maybe Barrett's going to be taking the right hand and the big boot at WrestleMania. Would not have an issue with this, because this would be a huge rub for Wade Barrett. Just like it was a huge rub for Muhammad Hassan and Sean Daivari at WrestleMania when Hulk Hogan took it to them, even though Mark quit the business, and Daivari's on the indies now, so it was still a big rub at the time. I think the fact that Muhammad Hassan was a great gimmick that I love very much, but it wasn't as strong as it could have been, and they would not invest the time. This gimmick would never get over now. Obviously, it would never even happen now. In PG era WWE, the gimmick that Muhammad Hassan came up with, yeah, that would never fly now. But Sergeant Slaughter wouldn't fly now, to be honest. The Iraqi sympathizer wouldn't fly now. So, oh my god, we get our next match, and this is the match that we have been waiting for. And the match that Sir Owen Disney, well, forgot to mention on his prediction video, predictions at the end of the SmackDown video. Sorry about that. Got distracted. I apologize. So, I'm going to need a lot of drinkies for this one and the next couple matches. This is the 6-man tag team war between The Shield, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and the United States Champion Dean Ambrose, taking on the Wyatt family, Bray Wyatt, Eric Rowan, and Luke Harper. And this match was phenomenal. This is a match of the year contender. Bar none. It really is. And there's been a lot of really awesome ones this year. There really has. And it's only February, folks. It's almost March. And we have had so many legitimate match of the year contenders. WWE wrestling product has grown exponentially in this last several months. A lot more than it was, and I know there's a lot of focus on sports entertainment, but there's a lot more focus on actual in-ring product than there has been in a long time. So let's talk about this match. Seth Rollins is a really awesome babyface run in this match. Obviously he's still a heel, but He plays the crowd up, and we talk about midway through this match. I kind of wanted to wait until about 10-15 minutes of this match because I knew it was going to go a while, and I was right. I have a whole page of notes for this match, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride, folks. So, the final spot of this match, this part of the match that I'm getting ready to just talk about is Rollins going for the blackout. A duck out, and Harper catches him with a spinning black hole slam, just vicious 1-2 and a kick out. Tagging to Bray Wyatt, he tosses Seth Rollins into the barricade, and he charges in, goes for a leaping back senton on the floor, tosses Rollins back in, and slams him face first into the ring apron. Like, he tosses him back in halfway and slams his face into the ring apron, so really nice there. Drags his body in, 1-2, and Rollins kicks out. Tagging to Eric Rowan, a club to the back, and a headbutt, big slam, and of course his version of Masato Tanaka's sliding D, 1-2, and a kick out. Tagging to Harper, and a gut shot, uppercut, whip in, charges in with a big knee, and the slingshot to the middle rope. Tag back into Bray, repeated stomps, chinlock, and of course a punch out by Seth, and a headbutt. Seth fights his way out of the corner, whip in, charges in, gets the boot up, middle rope, gets caught in a huge Uranagi. Ambrose makes the save right before 3. So Harper nails Dean with a big boot, and tag back into Harper. Harper comes in, and he gets nailed with a leaping kick. Basically, it's Rollins' leaping back kick that's pretty much has spelled trouble for a lot of people. Tag into Roman Reigns, tag into Eric Rowan. So Rowan is in trouble, obviously, because Roman Reigns is now in the ring. And this, of course, is now going to be all about Roman Reigns, like it should be. So what does he do? He hits a leaping clothesline on Rowan. He knocks Bray off the apron for good measure, ducks the clothesline, and he basically hits a Samoan drop. Instead of going for the pin, he starts pounding away, and he gets tossed out of the ring. Roman decides, that's not going to let me get me down, and he charges in. He nails that leaping drop kick to the side of the head of Eric Rowan, who is laying across the middle rope at this point. So he nails him with the backdrop Uranagi on Rowan. Bray makes the save this time, just like Ambrose did previously. So Ambrose gets taken off the ropes, knocks Bray off. Harper, yes, Luke Harper, hits a tope on Dean Ambrose on the floor, which looked awesome. Rollins, not to be outdone, nails Harper with the tope con hilo, and he misses in on the charge, rolled up, 1-2, and a kick out. So he charges in, both men go down with a double clothesline, and Seth removes the monitors in the Spanish announce table. So Bray nails Seth from behind, and they pick him up like they're going to go for the Shield's triple powerbomb, how appropriate. Ambrose stops it, brawls with Bray on the floor, and they have so much ferocity, they go over the barricade and into the crowd. So there's a trading of blows, knee in, tosses him shoulder first in the ring post, and he just slaps him in the face. That's all he does. He comes off the ropes, and Roman mows over Rowan with a leaping clothesline, 1-2, and a kick out. So we have Rollins nails Harper with a monitor. Bray and Harper end up getting the upper hand on Rollins. In the ring, Rowan with a fallaway slam on Roman Reigns, which sends him to the floor. So Seth is on the table. Harper and Rowan get on top of the table. They're on the regular announce table. The Spanish announce table has been removed of all monitors, so you know something bad's going to happen to Seth Rollins. And it does. Rowan and Harper double choke slam Seth Rollins from one table through the Spanish announce table, which really got an awesome reaction from the fans on Twitter with a hashtag rest in peace Spanish announce table trending. That was awesome. So Rowan, Bray, and Harper surround Roman Reigns. They get in the ring, and then there's an attack. So tagging to Harper. Harper actually tags himself in. Whips Rowan in with the avalanche and the big boot on Roman Reigns. tagging at Bray Wyatt. He goes for Sister Abigail, kiss of death. He's about ready to plant Roman Reigns. What happens? Roman uses his strength advantage, breaks Bray's grip. So Bray side headbutts Roman. Again, can't headbutt a Samoan. He does it twice. Roman growls with extreme ferocity, and he Samoan drops Bray Wyatt. Harper charges in. He tosses Harper over the top, and Rowan gets mowed over with a Superman punch. Ducks Bray's clothesline, and Bray gets nailed with a Superman punch of his own. He sets up for the spear. He gets ready to take Bray Wyatt out of the match. Harper sacrifices himself, and he eats the spear. Bray comes in, nails the body check, the fall of humanity, and plants Roman Reigns with Sister Abigail. 1, 2, 3, and the Wyatt family defeat the Shield in one of the Match of the Year candidates of 2014. What a tremendous match this was. Oh yeah, no Wade Barrett after this. Nope, he was done after that. So there was a rumor that we were going to see a match between Cameron and AJ Lee for the Divas Championship. I was hoping that was wrong. It wasn't. So yeah. And the less said about the cluster segment involving the new WWE toys, involving Santino and Emma and Great Khali, who is now a U.S. citizen, by the way. Thumbs up to you, Khali. Los Matadores and El Torito, yeah, the less said about that, the better. So we get this match, and oh my god, why is Naomi not in this match? I know why she's not in this match. Because Oksana doesn't know how to drop knees, and she cracked her orbital bone, so she'll be gone for a couple of weeks. Which means, by default, Cameron gets this spot. Cameron's nice to look at, not really good when it comes to wrestling. No, not at all. AJ with a spinning back kick, 1-2 and a kick out, hits a reverse neck breaker, 1 count only, Dragon Sleeper, and Cameron elbows her way out. Whip in, charges in. AJ hits the buckle, roll up by Cameron, 1 count only, clothesline, really awkward front drop kick, 1-2, AJ kicks out, ducks the clothesline, and really awkward Fez press. She's pulled out to the floor. So AJ picks up the pom-poms, and she does the dip it low, and every guy in America that loves AJ Lee, just their jaws just drops wide open. And yeah, it was awesome. I won't lie about that. People don't realize that sometimes about how emotional this guy can get, but yeah, I'm still a guy. So yeah, AJ dipping it low was over. So sorry. Again, I gotta be a guy sometime. It's a Seinfeld reference. He's a guy. It's okay, he's a guy. So incidentally, she gets pulled off the ring apron. Tamina goes for the super kick, and Cameron ducks, and she wipes out AJ, which we start getting into panic mode that Cameron's going to win the championship. Of course, that's not going to happen. Rolls her back in, and Tamina puts her foot on the bottom rope. No disqualification. The referee saw it. It's clear as day. Gonna let it continue. Alright. So, Tamina pulls her out of the ring, and clotheslines Cameron, and the referee officially calls for disqualification. So, there's rumors about tonight there being a title change on Raw. God, I hope it's not that. I really don't want to see AJ drop the title to Cameron. Natalya, fine. But, yeah, not Cameron. No, not Cameron at all. So, we get this. Well, I said there was no more Wade Barrett. There's one more time with Wade Barrett. And I think this is really funny because if you read my notes, it says WWE Network equals homeless. Let me explain. Okay. Tomorrow, or today, when the WWE Network starts, it's going to lead to adults getting fired from their jobs. I guess like word to me. And especially now. And children are going to be expelled from school, which means that they're also not going to take out their trash, which means their houses are going to get condemned, which means they're going to be booted out of their own houses, and basically they're going to live their life homeless. Thus not being able to watch the WWE Network anymore, because the network is going to have so much awesome content that they can't resist it, and their lives will cease to exist. So yes, it literally says in my notes, WWE Network equals homeless. And there was something, I'll throw out a really awesome comment to JBL, really nice inside reference to a lot of wrestling fans. How wrestling fans don't necessarily get this. Smarter wrestling fans, or ones that believe they're smarter wrestling fans, a lot of the IWC are going to get this right off the top. So Wade Barrett says something about when he's talking about there's going to be trash in the house, and they're not going to take out the trash, which means there's going to be rats. So there's going to be rats in the houses, and rats moving into the houses was the actual line. So JBL thinks about it for a second. This does not get a response from anyone, but I can honestly tell that both Jerry Lawler and Michael Cole probably were laughing to themselves, or at least laughing without being able to be heard, when JBL uttered the line, "What's wrong with rats moving in?" Hashtag good brother. Thank you, Luke Gallows. Now, yeah, I thought that was hilarious. I'm sorry. If you know what a rat is, yeah, that's hilarious. That's absolutely hilarious. What's not hilarious is this next match. It's Batista against Alberto Del Rio. Well, first off, I'll give it to Batista. He doesn't have two knee pads that look like Tyson Tomko anymore. That's good. Number two, he's about as over as a visit to the dentist right now. And there's two options to go right now. Number one, you hit the panic button like a crazy person right now and get Batista out of that title match at WrestleMania. But I don't know if they're going to do that because a lot of people will be mad, but you're still going to buy it. It's WrestleMania. The pay-per-view is almost, the event itself in New Orleans is almost completely sold out. So why hit the panic button if you're still going to do it? What's the worst that can happen at WrestleMania? Well, here's what happened. Alberto Del Rio, who, mind you, comes out last, which is interesting, because usually the heel comes out first, and the babyface comes out last. Del Rio also coming out to his old entrance music, back when he was a babyface. Well, no, not babyface. Back when he first debuted as a heel, when he was coming out in the automobiles every week, before he turned babyface and got this new remix of the music that I don't like. Oh, by the way, I have not mentioned it, I don't believe, in videos before, but I legitimately hate Big E's theme now that they switched it out, and it sounds weird. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. So, Del Rio was on over as a babyface. I liked him as a babyface, but he was on over as a babyface. Now, here's the thing. Del Rio comes out to a nice reaction. Fans are chanting C. Fans are chanting for Del Rio. They are turning on everybody in this show. Mind you, there were chants for CM Punk, obviously. There was chants for Brock Lesnar. There were chants for Dolph Ziggler. There were chants for Chris Jericho. This was during the match. There were C chants in this match, obviously, because they don't like Batista. And, yeah, this wasn't good. This isn't good for the guy that you want to be your babyface going into the main event of WrestleMania. If somebody doesn't interject Bryan into this, I don't know what's going to happen. It's going to be entertaining to watch, because it's going to be a insane crowd, pretty much to the levels of, do you remember Goldberg and Brock Lesnar? Yeah, that match is going to be a walk in the park compared to Batista and Randy Orton at WrestleMania if this stays a singles match. Yeah, the crowd's not going to take to it, I'm pretty sure. Minnesota crowd obviously didn't take to it, so let's talk about it. Del Rio comes out in a neck brace, wearing a tracksuit, and he has a crutch because of Batista's brutal attack when he powerbombed him through a table, basically left him to waste. He says he can't compete tonight, and what does he do? He pulls a really awesome heel tactic and attacks Batista with the crutches. So he nails him in the knee repeatedly, and the fans are chanting for it. He whips in, gets charged with a boot up, and he tosses him shoulder first into the post. He goes for the cross arm breaker in the ropes, and he breaks it forward before the referee disqualifies him. Armbar applied, Batista with two forearms, a right hand, whip him in, short arm into the divorce court from ADR. Kick to the head, charges in, and he goes shoulder first in the ring post, does Del Rio. So a shoulder and Del Rio with a kick. He nails the double boot stomp off the middle ropes, and the step-up enziguri kick on Batista. Batista grabs the rope right before 3. makes a cover by hooking the leg so he can't grab the ropes. 1-2 and a kick out. Comes off the ropes and baseball slide drop kick sends Batista to the floor. Tosses him in and Batista with a horrible spear. 1-2. And it's near fall. Real quick, before I go any further, Batista shouldn't be using a spear anymore. We got Roman Reigns now. So yeah, Batista, stop using the spear. Stop. Just stop. 2 short arm clotheslines, and he goes for the over-the-shoulder power slam, gets countered. Backstabber from Del Rio, 1-2 and a kick out. Goes up top, leaping back senton, and he misses. Spinebuster on Del Rio to a huge reaction. Not a favorable reaction for Batista there. He goes for the Batista bomb. Del Rio fights out, lands on his feet, clips the knee, and GSK, 1-2 and a kick out. Goes for the cross arm breaker, and he gets tossed into the exposed turnbuckle. Somehow that happened in the match. Batista bomb, 1-2-3, and that's it. And after the match is over, actually when they went to the package on WWE Network, apparently there were some fans that were there live that said that Batista just looked at the crowd and said, deal with it. Yeah. That's the guy that's going to go into your main event at WrestleMania. So, yeah. Oh, buddy. Elimination Chamber time, and this is almost 2 pages long, because this is a long, long match. So, interestingly enough, we started out, the order was as followed. We had John Cena, then Christian, who did not get taken out of the match, unlike a lot of people thought was going to happen. Then Randy Orton, then Daniel Bryan, then Cesaro, and finally Sheamus, which Bryan, Cena, Christian, and Orton all got in the pods, which means that we're going to start the match off with Sheamus and Cesaro. Yes, I really wish I could have started writing it a lot faster. So, Cesaro gets in with a battering ram. Bryan's the third competitor. Goes up top, missile drop kick on both Sheamus and Cesaro. Yes kicks to Sheamus. Yes kicks to Cesaro. Yes kicks to Sheamus. Yes kicks to Cesaro. Back and forth, back and forth. Goes to the buzzsaw on Cesaro, and Bryan locks on the Muda lock. Sheamus comes in. He nails him with the Northern Light suplex. 1-2 and a kick out, and he nails the inverted Muda lock with a pin. 1-2 and a kick out by Cesaro. Cesaro whips Bryan hard through the pod, shoulder first. Of course, he's doing the Brian Pillman tonight. He's selling the shoulder. So, a Finley roll on Cesaro on the steel. This is going to be a lot about high spots in this match. I didn't really write like blow for blow in this because there's a lot to write, and this is 2 pages long, and that's a shoot. Christian enters as our 4th competitor. He nails the tornado flying armbar on Bryan, just like he did on SmackDown. 1-2 and a kick out. He goes for the over-the-shoulder power slam, does Sheamus, and he gets countered into a falling inverted DDT on the steel by Christian. So, there's a Rana, gets stopped for a powerbomb, and Cesaro powerbombs him into the pod. 1-2 and a kick out. Puts the pod glass on Sheamus, and Swiss uppercut. Deadlift gut wrench on the steel to Sheamus. Cena comes in at number 5. You know, history's on his side because number 5 has won the most out of all the chamber matches. Cena goes for the AA on Christian, and he AAs Christian onto Cesaro. Bryan with a top rope run on Cena. The yes kicks on Cena. Buzzsaw kick is stopped with the kill switch, which engages on Bryan. 1-2 and a kick out. Cesaro's swing gets stopped with a crossbody by Cena, which catapults Christian into the buckle. And Christian gets caught with a proto bomb. Sheamus with white noise on Cena. 1-2 and a kick out. Back kick on Sheamus. You know, the upside down kick. Walks right into the neutralizer. He backdrops out of it. Christian sends Sheamus out, and Tornado DDT on Cesaro. 1-2 and a kick out. So Cena sends Christian into this chamber. Cena comes in, and Cesaro nails him with Swiss Death. 1-2 and a kick out. He goes for the AA on Cesaro, and basically Bryan kicks away and knocks him off. Cesaro goes for the superplex on the outside on Sheamus, gets a 2 out of that. Randy Orton comes in, and all 6 men have entered the chamber. Orton going for the punt kick. Bryan ducks out of the way, and they corner Randy Orton. So what does Orton do? He runs and hides in the pod and locks himself inside. So what does Sheamus do? He gets up in his face, and Orton doesn't realize that Sheamus has thought about it. And what is he going to do? He brogue kicks the glass into the face of Randy Orton, thus getting into the pod with him. So what happens on this? Cena hits the Proto Bomb on Orton, 5-knuckle shuffle. Cesaro tosses Cena and makes the cover, goes for the Cesaro swing on Orton, gets about 30 rotations on it. Bryan rolls up Cesaro and Chaos Theory, Doug Williams style, on Cesaro. Sheamus with a brogue kick on Cena because Christian pushes him into the way. Christian stacks him up 1-2 and a kick out. So he makes a cover on Cena, 1-2 and a kick out. He goes for the high cross on Christian. He lands on top and he climbs to the top of the pod. Orton comes in to attack Sheamus from behind and nails the Orton Crest Superplex. Sheamus is down. Christian's on top of the pod, leaps off the top of the pod with a huge frog splash. And 1, 2, 3, Sheamus is eliminated. So Sheamus the first man eliminated in the Elimination Chamber. Orton with a snakebite DDT on Christian gets countered. Orton gets sent over the top rope to the steel. This allows for Christian to get nailed with the fire-breathing knee. And Christian is now eliminated. So Bryan goes for the S-Lock on Cena. Gets countered, kickoff, AA, Bryan elbows out of it, and Cesaro ends up locking it and German suplex while the AA is applied, and it looked phenomenal. 1-2 and a kick out. Big boot sends Randy Orton down. Drop toe hold by Cena, STF. He goes for the kickoff, deadlift, gut wrench, turn into a Rana. AA, Cena is trying to get him over, and Cesaro grabs the top rope. He AAs him over the top rope to the steel, drags him back in the ring, locks on the STF, Cesaro taps. So he's the third man eliminated. Cena with the STF on Orton, and we get a Wyatt interruption. Just like we thought we would. Oh, by the way, Bray Wyatt shirt he wore tonight? Yeah, I've got that. I have that same exact shirt. So lights come back on, the Wyatts are in the chamber. Bryan charges in, Harper mows him over the big boot. The Wyatts mug John Cena. The whip avalanche and discus clothesline on Cena. They pick him up for the sacrifice. Sister Abigail by Bray, and they leave the cage. Orton covers Cena. 1, 2, 3. Randy Orton and Daniel Bryan are the last two participants in the Elimination Chamber. So Kane comes out to stop the Wyatts, and he goes to check on Cena after the Wyatts get sent to the back. Bryan comes off the top rope with a knee strike onto Kane, and Orton goes for the superplex, gets countered, he gets crotched up, Tree of Woe, and the stiff kicks, baseball slide drop kick 3 times, and a belly-to-back superplex by Bryan, 1, 2, and a kick out. He goes up top, presumably for the Swan Dive headbutt, and he gets crotched, snakebite DDT in the corner, and he goes for the RKO, gets tossed off, ducked the clothesline, fire-breathing knee on Randy Orton, 1, 2, Kane pulls the referee at 3. So Kane is up, and Bryan hits the high kick on him. Orton uses the distraction, nails the RKO, 1, 2. Bryan kicks out at 2.5. Fans are really into this. Orton goes to take advantage, and Bryan rolls him up in an inside cradle, 1, 2, and a kick out. Orton gets up, buzzsaw kick takes his head off. Stands up, Kane hits him in the injured shoulder, walks right into the RKO, 1, 2, 3. Randy Orton wins the Elimination Chamber and just deflates the crowd in Minneapolis. Just completely deflates the crowd. Like, it was interesting because the cameraman, I'll give him, like, props for this. The cameraman here was actually trying to find the most dejected fans, and they did a great job, by the way. There were a lot of people who looked like they were about to cry, a lot of people that looked like they were really invested in the fact that when Orton won, even though the entire world pretty much realized Orton was going to retain, sorry about that. When Orton won, and it deflated the entire crowd. Like, the Outlaws won tonight, Batista won tonight, Randy Orton retained, internet's going to say, it's a great time to be friends with Hunter, right? IWC, not knowing. So, Chamber was good. I like Christian's big high spot with the frog splash off the top of the pod on Sheamus. That was cool. I think the Cesaro swing on Randy Orton was cool. I like the Chaos Theory on Cesaro. That was awesome because we haven't seen that in WWE. I think we may have once or twice, but it's very rare that happens if it ever happened before. I love the Wyatt interruption. And after they took out John Cena, there was a chant of thank you, Wyatts. Yeah. So, yeah, that was awesome. And it was interesting because once it was down to Randy Orton, it's funny because the second Randy Orton entered the cage, The second he entered, the fans started chanting boring. And like Batista, the Boo-tista chant that is now a meme on the internet, yeah, that was really prevalent. So it was really interesting. The crowd was really hot, not necessarily for the right reasons, but when Bryan got screwed again, it's funny because Michael Cole, to his credit, and a lot of people give him flack, and I'm one of them, Michael Cole, to his credit, really put over Bryan getting screwed over from time and time again. And this is coming from, remember the fact that Michael Cole in the beginning, back in the NXT days, was basically treating Daniel Bryan as, oh, he's just an indie superstar. I mean, he's just the internet's favorite wrestler. He's never going to be anything. And he's listening to The Miz and everything. So, interesting to see where we go from this. We have Hulk Hogan, potentially The Undertaker, possibly Brock Lesnar, Ric Flair. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to be in attendance tonight for the WWE Network's first Raw. And after Raw's over, you can get the first live programming, which is going to be the Raw post show. And there's going to be post and pre-shows for Raw and SmackDown, and there's even going to be a special one for NXT Arrival, which they're going to have a panel with Bret Hart, Paul Heyman, and Kevin Nash. That's interesting. Very, very interesting. Especially given the fact that Nash has a very sordid reputation on the internet for calling people like Dean Malenko, Rey Mysterio, Eddie Guerrero, Chris Benoit vanilla midgets. So it's going to be interesting to see that, because the main event, obviously, the big ladder match, Adrian Neville finally getting the big opportunity to take the NXT Championship away from Bo Dallas in the first ever NXT ladder match. You're also going to see Paige finally defending the NXT Women's Championship against Emma. You're also going to see the final in the 3 stage matches between Cesaro and Sami Zayn. You had Zayn win the first, Cesaro won the second. This is going to be the third, and this is going to be the deciding win here, and it's going to be phenomenal. The Ascension are going to be on the show, most likely defending the NXT Tag Team Championships. Tyler Breeze, I'm sure, will be on the show. I'm sure Big Cass will be on the show, and I'm pretty sure that Aiden English will be on the show because he's very entertaining. I would say that. So yeah, it's a 2-hour broadcast, so check that out. NXT Arrival this Thursday on the WWE Network, and I don't know if that means it's going to be on Hulu on this coming weekend or not. Who knows? But interesting pay-per-view, to say the least. WWE has a choice. They need to, they could hit the reset button tomorrow if they really want to. I can't necessarily say the reset button, I say it's the panic button, because right now there's a lot of things they can do. And they really need to have Vince McMahon or someone interject, probably Vince, interject Bryan into the main event at WrestleMania. Even if we do Bryan, he has to beat Hunter, and if he beats Hunter, he gets the WWE World Heavyweight title shot. He gets to make it a 3-way with Orton and Batista, which means obviously we'd have someone to cheer for in the match. So I think Bryan will get a WrestleMania moment, a really huge WrestleMania moment. I'm not exactly sure if it will be with the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, but I know it's going to be huge regardless how you look at it. So yeah, really interesting to see what happened tonight at Elimination Chamber. Pay-per-view wise, if I had to recommend shows for you, I would say do your best to check out Big E and Jack Swagger. It was good. I really enjoyed that match. You can most definitely go watch the Wyatts and the Shield. It was phenomenal. And check out the Chamber. And if you want an interesting crowd reaction, you want to hear Del Rio get babyface reaction, knowing he is a full-blown heel now, yeah, watch Batista and Del Rio if you want to watch that. Titus and Darren Young was alright. The Outlaws and the Usos, I think those matches are kind of paint by numbers, which is a shame. The Brotherhood and Axel and Ryback, same way. And AJ and Cameron, just stay away from that match. It was just not good. So yeah, that was the show. And that was Elimination Chamber. We'll be talking Raw tomorrow. Actually, I will be talking Raw Monday night, so it will be up on Tuesday because I have to work. Actually, don't have to work Tuesday, so I could take my time, but no, I'm not going to do that because I have videos to shoot. And of course, Wednesday, going to talk NXT, and Thursday, we're going to, going going to have some more interesting information to come out of that, so there's always that. I don't know exactly what's coming for Thursday yet. I haven't quite decided. I guess we'll just figure it out when we get to it, so that's what we're going to do. That was Elimination Chamber. Interesting pay-per-view for what it was, and interesting to see what happens on Raw tonight. The big Raw from Green Bay, Wisconsin, Mr. Anderson country, and it's going to be really interesting to see what happens. So, in the meantime, if you like these videos, tell your friends about them, leave a comment, do subscribe, and help spread the word about Pop. If you want to like our Facebook fan page, it's Sir Owen Disney Pop. If you want to be my friend on Facebook, I'll give you some right now. It's Owen Disney. And if you'd like to follow me on Twitter, it's at Sir Owen Disney. And last but certainly not least, you want to send your thoughts, comments, queries, and opinions about Pop, things you want to see on Pop, versus ideas, everything, all spectrums. More than welcome to send me an email, SirOwenDisney@gmail.com. Wrestling fans, we'll talk yet again tomorrow for Raw. And we have NXT on Wednesday, and it looks like it's going to be Impact on Thursday. So we got that. Impact's coming Thursday, and that video will be out on Thursday, and I will be also doing this coming week's Impact, the final one before lockdown, later next weekend. I don't know exactly when. It's going to be a busy weekend because obviously we're in Oscar week. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff to come this weekend. A lot of B-dubs, a lot of work. I have the Spirit Awards on Saturday and the Oscars on Sunday. So thank you guys and girls out there for watching. And until tomorrow, boys and girls, that's all I got to say about that.